Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, the roads in the Billings area today are looking much better than Sunday after freezing rain made a skating rink out of interstates across our region.
As people struggled for traction, Billings police enacted the Slick Streets policy, and interstate accidents caused hours worth of delays.
Now, since temperatures plummeted around noon yesterday, Montana Highway Patrol troopers have responded to more than 50 crashes in the surrounding Billings area.
Roadways across the region looking better this afternoon. Here's a look at some Montana Department of Transportation road cameras around 2 today. Interstate 90 through Billings looking clear of snow but mostly wet. Farther west in Reed Point, I-90 looking much the same with mostly wet, and the Bozeman Pass also looking pretty dry.
Things are looking a little worse out east in the Hysham Hills on I-94. It appears Sunday morning's rain that turned to snow and ice is still sticking around the roadways there.
All right, let's talk about our current state of affairs now. Our Bob, sounds like our short break from snow was just that, short.
Yeah, it's just to the east of us right now. Let me show it to you on the Doppler radar. This stuff's coming right out of Canada, right out of Alberta. It's producing some snow showers just to the southwest of Havre. The stuff goes all the way down toward Sheridan. So this stuff, as you see, is just skirting around the Billings area, but it is getting to Hysham and the Hysham Hills and places like that. But look at this. Also down into Bighorn County, we have a winter weather advisory until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Could see 2 to 5 inches of snow there. That's right. So here's what's happening. It's a cold front that's dropping down from Canada, and so it might even produce some scattered snow showers in the Billings area. We're looking for about an inch of snow here in Billings, but you'll notice the stuff goes towards the east later on. In fact, that stationary front oscillates back and forth for the next few days. So it'll warm up during the daytime, cool off at night, and bring us some scattered snow showers. How much snow? It looks like through Wednesday it's going to be just light stuff, but if you take it in towards Friday, maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow for Billings. We'll have more on that coming your way in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, city crews continued today to remove an unstable piece of the rim rocks left after boulders fell from the formation and demolished a Billings home in September. Now, the final chunk of rock, dubbed the East Block, finally fell today. Now, the city says this step makes the area below safer for crews to clean up and remove the remaining boulders that fell to the street. The East Block was a little stubborn at first. Workers had to drill extra holes into the stone to weaken its hold. Now, city engineers hope work could start as early as Wednesday to break up and remove the boulders that still litter Laredo Place.
The State Public Service Commission heard comments today on Northwestern Energy's plan to provide electric power for its Montana customers over the next 20 years. But before the PSC session, renewable power advocates rallied outside the building in Helena, saying that Northwestern's plan has some big holes. Northwestern says it needs to build or acquire 800 megawatts of power in the next several years to serve its Montana customers, twice the amount of power it owns now. Protesters at Monday's rally said the plan should include more wind, solar, or other renewable power, which is both cleaner and cheaper. They also question why the plan includes coal-fired power from Colstrip when the Colstrip plants could be shut down during the 20-year period. Critics say Northwestern is not revealing the detailed numbers or analysis that led it to rely on coal or gas-fired power, and that the company is resisting independently developed projects that could provide lower cost and reliable power.
As a regulated monopoly, it is guaranteed a reasonable profit, and it doesn't need to own everything in order to make a profit. But Northwestern Energy wants to make even bigger profits by owning everything, even if it's more expensive, and having the ratepayers foot the bill.
Northwestern Energy has this proprietary modeling that they're doing that seems to always reach the same conclusion, that they have to move toward fossil fuels. Let's have some transparency about how we spend $1 billion.
Well, the PSC can only comment on Northwestern's plan, but it will decide whether to approve any individual power projects or contracts put forth by the company in the future.
Well, this past weekend, the Montana Lottery opened license applications for sports betting.
And the first applications are expected to be in the next couple of weeks. The legislature approved sports betting back in May. The Montana Lottery Commission finalized rules in November. Those rules only allow sports betting at businesses with gambling operator licenses like taverns and casinos.
Currently, around 1,400 businesses across the state qualify. Once operational, players will be able to create sports betting accounts, but they will only be able to place bets in person at a licensed business through a terminal or a connected mobile device.
There's no firm start date for when sports betting will be available to the public.
Well, they are our future professionals, and some Billings fifth graders are nailing down their etiquette and persona well in advance.
I want to be around the animals, checking out the animals every day. If I have a bad day, I can go see how they're doing. That's by far the best part.
Well, some local business professionals, Jeff Ewalt there, gathered this morning at Beartooth Elementary to judge a leg of the amazing shake. The competition requires fifth graders to maintain a short conversation with each judge. They are then ranked on handshakes, eye contact, and enthusiasm. Principal Travis Niemeyer conducts the competition each year and mentors the students through all the phases. Not only do the students practice etiquette, but they also get a look at potential career options in the future. And as the competition moves forward, the students will engage in several different lessons in confidence.
In Helena, the Capitol Rotunda is now adorned with wreaths thanks to Wreaths Across America. Each year, chapters of the Daughters of the American Revolution travel around Montana placing Christmas wreaths filled with military flags. The nonprofit organization's goal is to preserve history and patriotism.
We stand in front of this wreath that has the flags for each branch of the military in recognition of their service and the sacrifices that they made and that their families have made over the generations and that they continue to make today.
And here in Billings, the Billings Young Marines will assist at the Yellowstone National Cemetery this Saturday to lay wreaths.
Well, an early holiday gift for some Flathead shoppers after a secret donor paid off thousands of dollars in Walmart layaways.
MTN's Marin Sue spoke with one lucky woman who says this kind gesture restored her faith in humanity.
Some lucky Flathead residents got an amazing holiday surprise from a secret Santa here at the Kalispell Walmart. Marion resident Cheyenne Miller says money is tight this holiday season for her family.
We're moving and everything, so we really couldn't afford very much for the kids, so we put about I think it was like $60 of stuff on layaway for them and plan to come back to hopefully get more for them.
Several days later, Miller received a text from the Kalispell Walmart saying all her layaways were paid. Miller says this gift restored her faith in humanity.
I instantly started crying because, you know, in October we got our car broken into and got a good chunk of money stolen from us, and it totally took away any faith in humanity that we had left. And getting that call changed the game. It just lightened my heart, and it just made me feel like there really was good people still out there.
Kalispell Walmart store manager Philip Colby says this isn't the first time this secret Santa has done this kind gesture before, and says the stranger just wants to give back.
It's just wonderful. He actually is not a native of Kalispell. He moved here, retired here, and he just wants to help out the community as much as he possibly can.
Colby says the donor wishes to remain anonymous, but helped several Montana families in need this holiday season. Colby says in total, the special donor paid off several $1,000s worth of layaways. In Kalispell, Marin Sue, MTN News.
What a nice thing to do, huh?
That's awesome. And there's more news from across our state tonight. 40 dogs rescued and now safe at a Montana Humane Society after an apparent case of major neglect. Join me for those details and much more on tonight's MTN Statewide News at 9 on the CW.
But first, still to come on tonight's 5:30 News, it may only be 1 horsepower, but there was a lot of manpower behind the effort to find this ride. We'll have the story.
And later in sports, baseball winter meetings fire up with one topic looming above the rest. We touch bases with Mustangs owner Dave Heller on the proposal to drastically shrink the number of minor league teams in America.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.